Talking About My Generation, the podcast with Lee Scriven and Dell Bromham.
Hello and welcome to Talking About My Generation, another fine episode for you to hopefully enjoy. And we've got a superb guest with us, a good friend of mine, known for a long time, a really good musician, but basically, once again, like most people come on the show, a top geezer, Joe Carter.
Whee.
Hello, Lee.
Hello, Joe. But it's hello at Dell as well.
Hello,
how's
mate.
things? Is the live album getting mastered and boxed up?
Yes, it's all mastered, it's pressed, and it's ready to go in the next week or two.
Oh, right, okay.
It's a live album called One for the Road.
Yeah.
And very fittingly, it was recorded at Esquires in Bedford about 6 weweeks, 2 months ago.
Oh, right, it's fresh.
So in Bromham Road, Esquires is. No connection or relation whatsoever, but yeah. So and it's sounding great. Simon Ronaldo in his studio did all the mixing, and his son Lucas did all the mastering, and
excellent.
It sounded good.
Where can people order that, Dell?
We'll be
On Amazon,
giving some details. We're just having a new website constructed, so we'll be giving details of that. But yeah, it'll be available, and also we will now have it on our tour, which we start in a couple of weeks' time.
Excellent. Great news. Look forward to listening to it. Great venue, Esquires, isn't it? I've never played Dell.
I'll tell you what, we played in the middle venue because they've done that out now.
Oh, okay.
And that's great in there. Proper rock and roll. I like it.
Yeah, that's what's missing, isn't it? There's a lot of venues that are nice, but they're not rock and roll.
No,
and I think
it is.
musicians listening will know what I mean by that. As in, the Crawford Arms is rock and roll.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's great.
Well, when I offered us to do Esquires, I think I was a little bit embarrassed that we weren't going to. They didn't have the one upstairs available,
right.
And they said, "Oh, we've got the middle one." I said, "Yeah,
yeah, that's the one.
That's the one I want to."
I always think if you go into a venue and the earth hum is louder than the music, then you're in a good place.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to today's show, Lee.
Yes, a Beatles special today.
I've got the T-shirt as well.
Yeah, we just thought Joe, like me, and
my Help T-shirt,
is a big fan of the Beatles, and the anthology series I think is due this month on Disney. Don't quote me on that. We're going to talk about that. The parts of the album have come out. I've had a sneak couple of listens, but I want to talk about the anthology sort of album and the thing. But first, as we always do, to give you an idea of the musical taste of our special guest and what he likes and what he doesn't like, because we always think that's a nice way of introducing people to you, the listener. So Joe Carter, first record you bought?
The first record I bought, okay, I can't actually remember the first record I bought, but I can remember the first records that were bought for me.
Okay, yeah, go on. That's
Christmas 1965. Ooh. I was just turned 6 years old. Mum came downstairs with a box covered in Christmas wrapping paper, naturally. Opened it up and there was this little red record player, which blew my mind. Wow. It literally, but all the other presents.
That's quite young to get a record player.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I've been waiting a year already. But anyway. And with it came 3 records. We Can Work It Out, Day Tripper, Get Off My Cloud, Singing Up the Song, the Stones, Ticket to Ride, Yes It Is. And for the whole of Christmas Day, Boxing Day, I think I ruined everybody's Christmas. They all started off liking the Beatles, but by the end of Boxing Day, they'd had enough. But not me. They shoved me up into my bedroom.
I would have been round your house if I knew you then.
You remember that, Doc? I can remember having about 5 albums, and you used to know people had hundreds or 50, and you just wanted, and that's, I've talked about this before, Joe. One of the reasons I think I got into 60s music so much is that, like you're just saying, you want to get more and more records, and they didn't have a lot of money, did a little paper round, and I used to buy my records at a second-hand shop, which was like a third of the price of a new album, because it was expensive to buy albums in them days, and of course all the stock was Stones, Beatles, because everyone had them and just getting rid of them. So I just wanted a record collection, because it was a big thing. It was a big thing in the 70s. If you went round someone's house, the first thing you did was like, you might have gone to the toilet, but it's like, can I have a look at your record collection?
That's it.
It was great, wasn't it? It was a really good thing. So yeah, first band you saw, not the band that perhaps influenced you or blew your head off. What was the first time you actually saw a live band?
Again, I can't remember a specific band, but I remember 16 years old, we used to bunk the train over from Bletchley to the Hunt Club at Leighton. That's my earliest memories.
That was a big club, wasn't it?
Of gigs, yeah. So, and we saw the Jam there in February '77.
Put on by Chris France, I believe.
Good old Chris, yeah.
Yeah, you know Chris. I think he put that on. Right, here's the one though. Was there a band? We both saw this. I'm right in saying Arthur Brown was your it was the guy who's just sadly passed away. Terry Reid, wasn't it? It was your epiphany moment, musical epiphany moment. Mine was Dr. Feelgood.
Oh yeah.
And so was there a moment you went and saw about? I'm definitely going to be a musician. Was there a moment did that happen to you?
Well, yeah, but it was way before I saw a band live. It was when I used to get the knitting needles out and the biscuit tins and bang along to Top of the Pops, and
so that was Top of the Pops.
I desperately wanted to be on.
I get you.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Best gig you've ever seen?
Right, the best gig up until recently that I saw personally was the Monkees at the NEC in about '97 when it was their reunion. They came over.
I remember it.
And the only one they did over here reunion-wise, as far as I know, with Nesmith, and we had fantastic seats, 12 rows back right in the centre. And the thing that I loved the songs anyway, regardless of their origin.
Technical problem. That's the producer, so hurry up and finish. You got it? We'll just let it go.
But
it's a good tune, Dell. I'll give you that. There you go. As if you're thinking this isn't live, it is live. Yeah. So sorry, you were talking about the Monkees, Joe.
Yeah, I was just saying the thing I came away with. We were quite close up, and obviously manufactured pop band and all that, but they were playing their own instruments the majority of the time, and I was really thrilled with that, particularly Peter Tork's bass playing. I thought was brilliant.
What did you think of the Monkees when they came out there? Because I loved them as a kid and just thought that was great. But as you're a little bit older, you're more into the music side of things, and they did get a lot of stick, didn't they? But I thought they were great.
Yeah, I must admit, sort of being a big Beatles fan at the time, I kind of, in retrospect, think I objected to the way they were being promoted. Look, they were the next Beatles, and I thought, well, they won't be that, and so I wasn't quite sure at first, but then, like I've said before, at the end of the day, the songs won over because they had some great writers doing the stuff. Neil Diamond and
crew playing on the brilliant musicians.
Yeah, I mean, Peter Tork was a great musician. Nesmith was a great musician.
They all got on, didn't they? I mean, from what I've read and known, when they came over to London, and that, the Beatles were very welcoming, and they were part of that sort of little ad-lib club scene, a welcome in, weren't they? And the Mamakas sort of it, Laurel Canyon, Peter York and people.
Here's a piece of useless information. I'm older than you two, see, and I can remember being as a little kid. One of the first books I got, there was a TV show called Corky Circus Boy, and Mickey Dolenz was Circus Boy, and I had the book with him on the front, and I can't remember the name of the actor who was like the main character in it. But that was he was in films and things.
And we have to thank
Monkees.
the Monkees for creating David Bowie, don't we?
Yeah.
Do we?
Well, that's why David Jones changed his name.
Oh right.
Yeah. He changed it because he didn't want to couldn't be Dave Jones anymore, which I completely get.
Yeah.
As in, I don't think, but in a stranger sort of way, was that the beginning of Bowie becoming someone else? And a lot of people think it was sort of a master plan of David Bowie to follow Bob Dylan, as in creating another persona with another name, but no, it wasn't.
Isn't that interesting?
He couldn't go out as Davy Jones anymore because everyone go, you're not.
Well, isn't that interesting? Like, no one's ever thought about before. If there hadn't been a Monkees, there might not have been a Bowie.
Yeah, there hadn't been Davy Jones. Well, he would have been. He just changed his name.
He didn't. He wouldn't have had to, otherwise.
I'm going to talk about it in a little bit as well about the Monkees. It's funny. It was in moments in time. I like this question. What rock star would you bring back? What we mean by that is someone who sadly left the building. Me and Dell both started. Stevie Marriott. We both wanted to bring Stevie Marriott back because we felt when he went, he didn't know how much he was loved. Is there a rock star that you would say, okay, I want him back?
Stevie Marriott, yeah.
It would be Stevie Marriott.
Absolutely, yeah. Saw him 3 months at the OU.
Yeah.
3 months before he died.
And guess who
I was there.
yeah.
I played on that night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? I saw it. Yeah, I saw that gig. Yeah.
Not many people there, though.
No, there wasn't many people there.
For
No.
Steve Marriott. Yeah.
Well, that's that.
Incredible.
You've hit the nail on the head. That's my point. And I remember being there that night, Joe, and I think we're very similar. We both got a love of 1960s music, and I'm thinking, this is wrong. You know, I wasn't embarrassed. I was a bit embarrassed for him. I just felt this can't be right. You know, Steve Marriott at the OU in Bletchley kind of thing. No,
65 people there.
Yeah, it's like this, and that's where he was, wasn't it, Dell?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, perhaps not in London or some of the bigger cities, but that's where he was.
No, he was
a
on
musician,
the pub. He was doing the pub circuit again for not much money.
which now just sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Obviously, something went wrong.
I mean, that was a thing of the times, though, wasn't it? I'm going to come on. We're going to talk about the Beatles, but I'll bring this bit up now because
Don
we're going
Arden had a bit to do with it, didn't he?
Yeah, but I'm going to talk about the Beatles because what we're living in this age now. The Beatles are still the biggest band in the world by a country mile. And I'd argue that right to the end.
Most popular, that.
Well, I think what you, both of you, may recall. I remember I was totally obsessed with the Beatles when I was 13, 14. So we're talking 73, 74. And I'm telling you now, all my mates took the piss out of me about it. They were not popular. You know, they weren't a band you could sort of wear as a badge, remarkably. And I would even say that carried on through punk. If you think about Glenn Matlock, the bass player of the Sex Pistols, who supposedly got the sack. And the PR press which was completely untrue, I've read his biography, is that Malcolm McLaren sacked him because he liked Paul McCartney and the Beatles. But what that does is sort of reflect and reinforce what I'm saying. It's remarkable now how they are bigger now, I believe, than they were in the 60s. You got generations like in the Beatles instead of a young generation. But there was that time, wasn't there?
Timeless, yeah.
But there was that time. I'm saying, was it like that for you? You know, you just
well, the punk thing. I used to go dress up in all the gear. Go to all the gigs in London, then come home and listen to Help.
Had the T-shirt.
It's strange, isn't it? Very strange. One moment in rock you would like to go back and see Woodstock. We've started recording of Hey Jude and things like that. Is there a moment, the Rock and Roll Circus, the Stones? Is there a moment thinking, I want to go back in time, I want to go and see them?
Can't think. So many.
I'll pick one. Go on. Beatles way.
Let Dell pick one. I'll have a think.
Have a think, come back to that one. Right, okay, we're going to move on. Moments in time. So this is around this week that we're recording it, around about the 4th and 5th of 6th November. So by the time you get to hear it, it'll still be relevant. 1973, 4th of November, David Bowie scored his second #1 album when Pin-Ups went to the top of the charts. And I love that album. And again, because of my, as you must know by now, my sort of love for the 1960s, that year, October, November, was pretty pivotal for me because Quadrophenia came out in October, which I absolutely fell in love with. And then David Bowie came out with Pin-Ups. And I don't know about you two, but we were both of the similar age, Joe, and that. At that period, David Bowie was the biggest rock star in the world. You could not move for David Bowie, could you?
I'll drink to that. Brilliant.
And I love the album. I mean, it's not together again to just get out of a recording contract. They just wanted to finish their contract with RCA, I believe, and they went over to France and just banged it out. And Ainsley Dunbar, wasn't it, on drums? And I just love the feel of it. So, do you like that album?
Love them all. First 4 albums.
Yeah.
I love them all. Yeah.
Yeah. You ever fancy doing an album like that, Dell?
Did what, sorry?
Do you ever fancy doing like a Pin-Ups album of your major? I think you do. I think you do a really good one.
I do. I do fancy doing that.
Well, you should. I'll come and co-produce. I'll make the coffee.
Okay.
If you want. I won't produce it because I'm absolutely useless at that kind of thing. But you should. Right. Sticking with the Beatles. 1967. the filming of 4th of November 1967, the filming of Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour was completed. Remarkable film. I remember my nan hating it. It ruined my Boxing Day. We were watching it. I got my brother. I mean, especially my older brother, because he's 5 years old. He didn't care about Christmas. We got the EP. I think that came out pre-Christmas. Loved that, absolutely. On the top of peppers. Really delivered. And then everybody, can't wait, Boxing Day. I don't know what time it was on. And we all sat around as a family. My nan, bless her. Oh, this is rubbish.
Well, it was slammed, wasn't it?
All the way through it. And in the end,
I think it was about 8 o'clock in the evening it was on.
Yeah. I have tried to watch it. It is still a hard watch, isn't it? It is.
It's better in colour, I have to say.
Yeah,
black and white, it didn't really fit the,
I think one of the first things, one of these sort of fashionable things was not to be scripted and like,
experiment.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
you might have wanted a script there, gentlemen. Yeah.
It was particularly at the time. It was quite a gamble for it to get put on TV, even because it didn't abide by any rules that they were laid down for broadcasting. But I've still got the EP that I got at the time.
I've got that one. Yeah, you got the original one?
I haven't. No, I've got the album, obviously. But,
to be honest, I think there's one for sale just down there in the Willing Office if you want to get one on the way back. But no, a very influential film though. I saw a documentary on Steven Spielberg, and he said Magical Mystery Store was part of their curriculum in filmmaking, and they just thought it was like from another, brilliant.
I think the song saved it.
Yeah, full on it. Great songs. Yeah, I mean, you just have to grit your teeth and then.
My favourite album. Magical Mystery Tour. Not everybody's.
The one with All You Need Is Love and Baby You're
Strawberry
a Rich
Fields, Penny Lane, Baby You're a Rich Man, Walrus. I mean,
yeah, because it was an unofficial, because it was an EP that got turned into an album. But if that had actually been an album, it would have. Yeah, I mean, Hello Goodbye around it as well. That that would have given Peppers a run for its money, wouldn't it? Really, as in the stature of the songs. And
I have a picture in my head now of McCartney, "Fool on the Hill."
Yeah, that's great.
From that film.
Yeah. It was clever, wasn't it? He went to France to do it. 1960, going back a little bit, Elvis Presley, number one. You like Elvis at all?
Not an Elvis fan at all.
No, funny, isn't it? I mean, again, that punk thing, he was he was made out to be the enemy, and obviously when you're a teenager, you get wrapped up in the culture of the movement that you're following. Elvis, rubbish, and all that. And then, of course, when you get older, you think, no, hang on a minute, he was really good.
I was more Little Richard and Chuck Berry.
Yeah, I think a lot of the British were really. I think Lennon and McCartney, especially. Little Richard. I think because they were harder, wasn't it? I think that appealed. I mean, it was his management, really, wasn't it, Colonel Tom Palmer? He just wanted him for Middle America, and he succeeded. Made themselves a fortune, but very influential. Here's one you might like. 1990, which is strange. 25 years after their version was recorded, The Righteous Brother, with Unchained Melody, number one. That was a good song.
Cracking tune.
That was good, but I love that sound. Was it Phil Spector, Dell? Yeah. What a sound. 25 years after you've done it.
And once again, another great record, which had what we talked about last week and on our previous occasions, Carol Kay bass playing on that one. Accidentally playing bass because she was a guitarist.
Yeah.
Can you play bass? Yeah.
I mean, sonically, that song is just timeless, isn't it? You could play that now and it'd still blow your head off. Remarkable. I mean, it's probably recorded.
The production on it is incredible, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, these guys. I mean, no post production, no AI tools.
No, there was no.
You just got to get it right.
Purely organic in those days, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, you had to get it right, like you say, because they didn't have close miking. It was like a couple of ambience mics up in the air and sing live with a band.
It's beyond belief now.
And you still, and you get record producers these days trying to replicate that by doing all this close miking.
I would like. I'll be honest. You know me and my creative juices, but I've always thought this. I'd love to get like a commission to have a series to reenact, make these records as they were made.
Yeah.
But perhaps obviously modern day singers and modern day, but you got to do it using the same mics and the same desk. See how you get on.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure they'd do it if you had the top engineers. Some of the people we know, they'll probably be. But I think it'd be fascinating to see what they went through to get it as good as what they got it.
When you think about it as well, I mean, if you go even back to like the 30s or maybe 40s even, when you had like 40s and 50s, we had people like Count Basie, even Glenn Miller, things like that. If you think about all the instrumentation, and you had like an acoustic piano and a guitar which wasn't plugged in,
drum kit,
they had to be musicians and learn how to come down a little bit so that one could be heard. There was none of this, oh, don't worry, I'll turn it up in the mix.
Yeah, no.
They were musicians who actually learnt to play with each other and how to acknowledge each other's talent, as it were. You know?
Yeah.
Well, everyone's watching High Society, and there's some numbers in there.
That's a fan. What?
I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm just trying to make my Baretti film, and the sound is all over the place and all that. And there's an orchestra, Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
And they're playing. There's no lip sync. They're performing, and the sound engineer.
That's the thing I look. That's the thing I look forward to most at Christmas, because I know High Society is going to be on, and I always watch it.
It is, but what I'm saying is, technically, I'm in awe of you guys, and this is nearly 70 years ago, and I don't think there's many people around who could do that nowadays.
Well, when we think about it, I mean, I watched that, and it's obviously done live. The great bit with "Have you heard? It's in the stars." You got Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra singing across each other at the bar.
Yeah.
The band, orchestra, whatever, they're off camera, and it's all live.
All live, yeah. I mean, we could go on and on, but have we moved forward? No. Have we made it easier? Yes. But have we made it better? Don't know. But you just got to give these people credit.
It's difficult to record atmosphere, and that's what you're losing.
We all Monkees connection. Where was I? I've lost it now. Last Train Clarksville was number 1 in the 5th of November 1966. Yeah, there you go. You got me out there. Got me out of jail there. Back in November the 9th, which is a little bit forward, but I thought it was quite a pivotal moment in time. 1961, November the 9th. A certain Brian Epstein went for his lunch break, and he walked into the cavern, and he saw 4 Herberts called the Beatles. Yeah, that's where it all started. Like a lunchtime gig. Yeah, I mean, that's just like it. Shows the amount of bands and how much live music there was for bands in that period, that you could do lunchtime gigs. I mean, lucky to get 1 gig a week now as a cover band, which we're going to come on with Joe in a bit. But it's like, just shows you the amount of work they must have been doing. But I wonder, it must have been. They must have had their magic then, still. Just as as we now know and love, the charisma. And obviously, I don't think it would have been Pete Best then, would it? No, it would have been Pete Best. It wouldn't have been Pete. Ringo. But there must have been something in the air for them just to walk in, 4
big
guys,
energy,
leather
apparently.
jacks. Yeah.
So that's what Epstein said.
So he said. Yeah, good guy. And last but not least, 1967, November the 10th, the Beatles filmed 3 promotional films. Hello, goodbye, at the Severe Theatre in London, and it was never shown on British television because of the Musicians' Union wouldn't allow lip sync, miming. I don't remember seeing it until I think the anthology series came out. That bit when they're dressed up as Sergeant Peppers and that kind of thing. Well, there you go. There's your moments times. Hang on, one more one. 1966, November the 10th, the Beatles decided not to tour anymore. So you can understand why, couldn't you, really?
Yeah, I'd had enough. Been thrown around in the back of vans with no seating.
Attacked.
Well, not only that, every time they played somewhere, it ended up they couldn't hear each other. Because the screaming was so loud, and obviously they didn't have the amplification like you got these days.
Yeah.
Well, they reckon Shea Stadium, they were just going through the peripheral.
Public address.
We
said it was like transistor radio.
I was saying that my aunt took my niece to the Hammersmith Odeon to see the Beatles, and I know the PA system they were using then, and I can remember in the wall in the Hammersmith Odeon were 2 wooden speakers that had Tannoy written on them, and they were singing through that. It's what the bloke used to come up on Saturday morning pitch and say, right, this morning we've got so and so, but this is a band playing through it.
Wasn't it?
2 vocal mics out the front, and that was it.
I mean, they didn't know any better though, did they? I mean, they were there for the.
Well, no, you didn't.
No, it's just the way it was, wasn't it? I mean,
That's
it's remarkable when you're talking about Shea Stadium and the American tours. They had 1 roadie. 1 roadie. You know, I mean, you look at the entourage now, even for an arena tour. I mean, it's huge. But they had poor old Mal Evans, you know. I've just read his book. It's a brutal book. It's worth reading, though.
Okay, I'll have to get that.
Yeah, it's hot. You're going to put it down every now and again. You're going, wow, she's a bit tough, you know. But it's just what it was. You know, he had the van, he got all the gear out and loaded it up. And Neil Aspel gave him an hand, and that was it. But
Mal, nip out and get me an anvil.
That's it, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. Right. Need an
Oh, okay.
And it was interesting that you were saying about, you know, your roadie, where, you know, their pockets must be, you know, like the TARDIS, where, yeah, he carried plectrums, peen, you know, everything. And guitar leads,
adjustable
you know, everything.
spanner.
Yeah,
It's great.
Mal,
and Andy Law, my roadie. It's whatever I do. Andy, have you got? And he always has. He's always in his pockets.
I wonder, but it was interesting. I mean, I was just saying earlier that I do believe this, that they are bigger now than they were, even at the height.
As Epstein said, people will be listening to the
Yeah, he
Beatles
wasn't wrong, was he?
40 years or whatever.
I mean, if they were like the Stones now, where would they play? I mean, if Oasis sell out 5 nights at Wembley, what would the Beatles do?
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be anywhere big enough, really, from the plate. I mean, they're still that big. I mean, they were that big then. But it's remarkable, isn't it? And I'll throw this one at you, Joe, because I've brought this up before, and I am working on an AI film at the moment, and so I'm sort of in AI mode. And I believe that at some point, and I think it will be in our future as well, that official avatars will come out. You know, like the ABBA show in London?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling the reason why people are spending ridiculous amounts of money on publishing rights, when basically you can't make any money out of publishing rights unless it's in a film, it doesn't make sense. So I believe when the Stones and the Who's and all these massive bands, even the Monkees as well, I'm wondering if that, and I'm seeing the technology, and trust me gentlemen, the technology is moving like you cannot believe, as in how real these avatars are and can be in their mannerisms and everything. Would you buy a ticket for that? If it was an official, if it was an official, not a tribute act, it's an official Apple corpse, you know.
I struggle with it, if I'm really honest. Yeah, I until it's presented in front of me, I don't know what I'd say, but my sort of initial...
I mean, how did you feel about John Lennon when Paul McCartney did at Glastonbury and they put John Lennon on the screen? How did you feel about that?
No, I thought that was nice, because it was John Lennon, and it was a film real. Of what John Lennon did, right. So it was reality, albeit in the past it happened. AI,
so would you have felt the same if they'd have just used an avatar to create the rooftop?
Well, for me, it wouldn't be John Lennon. So therefore, I'd be interested in John Lennon, not somebody making John Lennon up.
Yeah.
Similarly, a friend of mine who does a bit of AI and that recreates Steve Marriott's voice and sent me a load of stuff.
Chris, yeah.
I don't know whether to...
No, he won't mind. It's a public knowledge.
Sorry, Frenchie. No. He sent me in and said, do you like it? And I sort of thought, do I like it? I don't know whether I like it or not. Well, I do know whether I like it. I don't like it. And he kept asking me, and I said, well, it's pretty close. It sounds like it. Yeah, but do you like it? I want to know if people like it. I didn't give him an answer, which is not like me.
Well, you gave an answer then, didn't you?
Yeah. So...
Yeah, I want to talk to Chris about that, because I'm doing the AI. I'm going to didn't
come up against some opposition.
Well, yeah, Robert Plant came out, and people they didn't hide their feelings, which I'm getting prepared for what I'm doing. Though it's all original, I'm not. There's no David Bowie. I don't. Oh God, I wouldn't do that. But what I'm seeing is it excites me in one way and frightens the life out of me in another. But we'll do a program on AI in the next. But hopefully before we're going to do it to the end of November, then we're going to have a break because Dell's going off around the world and doing his tour, and I need a break as well. But
I wonder how Paul and Ringo feel about it, because I would imagine I don't know. I think justifiably they're quite precious about their brand. They always have been.
Yeah.
And but they're not getting any younger, and it's something I could probably envisage happening in.
I think it'll happen.
After their passing.
I think it'll happen. And to be honest, my side of this, Joe, is if they use the original recordings, no AI treatment on the record, it is the Beatles playing, And
how does it differentiate between watching a film of the Beatles? Why not just watch a film?
I think you
of the
need to
Beatles?
see an avatar in the real to see it. And what I'm saying, the ABBA one, the ABBA show that's going on. I don't get me wrong. People have been going in their thousands to see it. I'm not knocking it. But what the point I want to make is that in AI technology, that is like seeing Tommy Steele at the coffee bar.
Yeah.
In where it is at the moment. In 5 years, if they stopped that show tomorrow and brought it back in 5 years, it would be a completely different show. Because AI is moving at a rate that is just unbelievable. And I just think if it's been endorsed by the people who own the music, and it is the real instrumentation of that band playing, like let's say the rooftop, let's say that. So part of the show, we're going to recreate the rooftop, and the clothes would be absolutely the same. I'm telling you that now, even down to shoes, socks, shoelaces, you would not be able to spot the difference. You would be able to spot the difference in the face at the moment, but in 5 years' time, I don't think you will. And if it's the real music, so my granddaughter could be 15 then, and she can go and see a show and see a sort of live representation of a band she loves. I don't think it's as bad as what people are making out.
What happens if in 5 or 10 years' time you go to see your local pub band and it's Avatar?
I don't think that'll happen that quickly, but I don't really want to see that happen, no.
To me, what you're suggesting is very similar.
Yeah, okay, that's a good
seeing
point.
the Beatles as avatars is like seeing your favourite local band as avatars, and
imagine that. I mean, you would have been. We wouldn't have been.
Dell Bromham and Stray.
I mean,
it's not Dell Bromham.
I've put this to Dell before. Would he be happy with an avatar representation of Stray when we're not on the planet?
What Joe's saying, I'd never thought about that before. But I mean, you would never have thought the technology that is now would have been around sort of 15, 20 years ago. But in 20 years' time, they could probably develop the technology where the bloke who runs a music thing in a pub can get one, turn a machine on, and it beams these people down.
20 quid for the band for the night?
Yeah.
And the band's
it could happen.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, you're seeing human avatars at the moment. Let's face it, they are the mainstay of most venues now, sadly. I mean, I'm saying it's a bit pot calling kettle black, considering I was in a sort of tribute band. But it was a tribute band when we first started out, but we got fed up with it and we just became a band, a covers band. But you're right. Venues, strapped for cash, and then they can buy a machine that can say we're going to do a tribute night to Kiss, and there's some avatars doing Kiss. It's like, now you've said it, I could actually see that happening. Yeah, and people come down, have a beer, and go, "Oh, I love this band, I love Kiss." Yeah. But I think again, I'm going back to, I think if it's the original music being played. Kiss will get something out of it, and the people.
If they would do, if
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to
just.
I think what you're saying, just go down to someone covering Beatles, Bowie, and I do think what I'm probably understating is the importance of human engagement.
Absolutely.
Human to human,
and
I think that's going to become very valued over this next period we're going into. Like I say, I'm working on an AI film. It's not because I wanted to make an AI film. What I was trying to achieve creatively would have cost me £50,000 there. To do what I wanted to do, it's costing $2,000 to create it in an AI mode, because all I want to do is to show someone up the chain to go, this is what I want to do. I think it'll make a great TV programme.
Absolutely,
So that's where I'm seeing the beauty of AI creativity. I still want it, because put what I'm doing now up against two brilliant actors, no comparison, because they're human and people will engage with a human. So I think there's an element of panic amongst you, and I don't blame them, because I say and we're not just talking music or theatre. AI is going to impact a lot of industries down the road, and it worries me where people might be able to find a job and that kind of thing. But anyway, that was an interesting. But
what about Avatar football then? Eh?
Yeah,
have the MK Dons against Liverpool.
Yeah,
there you go, about that one.
Yeah, they're not far from it, to be honest with you. People going through the motions for a lot of money. Whoops!
I think we'll change the subject.
Certain Chelsea and Spurs at the weekend.
Moving on.
I think they could have been. I think Spurs should have put out 11 avatars. It might have done better. But anyway, Joe, Joe. Right, your musical life, Joe. So, did you grow up in a house of music then?
Yes and no. My dad wasn't musical at all, albeit he did come from a musical family. My mother was a singer, still is, still alive and still doing her choral stuff.
Great.
So there was always Beethoven and Mozart being played on. She was musical and she passed the gene on to me.
When did you first start playing? When did you pick up a guitar?
I think it was probably about 67, 68.
Oh, right, so you're about 9.
Yeah, I
8, 9.
whinged and whinged till I got a little Woolworths acoustic thing with steel strings and actually killed my fingers. Learned to play D major, I think. That's my first chord. Then had some lessons from a local folky guy. Learnt a few more chords.
Great.
And that's it. And that's the last lessons I had, because being quite an impatient person, I wanted to do it my way and learn the chords I wanted to learn and the songs I wanted to play. Yeah, so put the records on and try and do it by ear.
And then your sort of musical career from there. Did you like me? Was in like little punky bands and original bands.
Yeah, we had an original band in probably 1979, 80, doing our own stuff. Like a lot of bands didn't get anywhere, probably around the time of Fictitious and, down at Pear Tree Bridge and all that, we rehearsed. But I thought this is I was working on the farm with my dad, didn't like it and decided I wanted to make as much money as I can out of music. I realised that I wasn't probably, unless I got very lucky like Dell maybe or all the other superstars, I wasn't going to make a living out of it. No. So therefore I thought I'll get a covers band going, and that's what we did in 1992, 3, and we did it for about 25 years. And gradually met some. I had a great skill of getting very good musicians around me to make up for my inadequacies. But I was quite good at running the band and hiring and firing.
That sounds familiar.
So, yes, it does.
I won't say who.
Making sure we had a PA and transport and stuff, and it just grew. And the better the players who I got around me, the better the gigs we got, and did all the corporate stuff and had great fun. Basically,
nice.
Packed it up about 7 years ago.
Well, that's an achievement, Joe. Got to say,
I've enjoyed it.
My dad was the same. He worked in the daytimes most of the time, and it wasn't until he got in his late 50s that he just didn't work, because I think as you find out when you get to 50s you can't get a job anyway, and he went sort of fully pro. But no, I owe it to my father and him being in a covers band that our standard of living was good. We didn't want for really anything as children, and we bought a house and we moved to Milton Keynes, and he told me it wasn't on the strength of his day job, it was because at that period, perhaps not so much in the 90s, money was decent for cover bands, and I think you should be proud of the band. I understand the band was really good, wasn't it? It was really...
Thanks, Lee.
No, I've heard the band was very, very good, You took a lot of pride, because I remember I think I spoke to you about this before when we were conversing about different stuff and that both me and Dell, I suppose, when we do cover versions, or I like to sort of try and take them somewhere different, just to because it's a part of being creativity. But I remember, I'm sure you said that you took really, really great pride in doing your best to recreate what people had listened to on the radio.
That was the job we had to do in order to give the people who were paying us what they wanted. What they wanted was the songs they can hear in the charts. So we said, well, we'll do as best job we can of recreating that live, like little avatars. Which is what we did, and we rehearsed. We always rehearsed every week without fail, and we loved it.
What was one of the tough? I'm trying to think. Hotel California. That's a shout. Did you ever do that? There would have been some going, we can't do that one. Reading in the Years. It's like there's some songs out there that must be a real challenge to get right.
We sort of veered away from the rock guitar sort of bass music, because that wasn't my thing really. And the main man, musical director, my mate Steve Gregg, who was with me for 22 years, was a keyboard player, very, very good, and saxophonist, musical director, who could read and write any music, drum music, whatever you want. They were soul-y, funky sort of stuff, and I just thought, right, not really my thing. I love the Motown, the soul-y, funky, slappy, bassy stuff, not really my cup of tea, but we're here to make a few bob so we can pay the gas bill. So I'll go with that, and I'll just organise these guys to play the music they like.
Keep
do some great demo tapes and some videos and that, send them out, and we were very lucky that we did okay.
Yeah,
so
good shout, well done. It's a tough old game, but it can be enjoyable. I remember a collective, we went we didn't do it for money because there was too many of us. It was lucky if we got a fiver each. But I remember one night we did the Dorchester, the ballroom, because the guy at BP really liked the collective.
Yeah.
And it was always my favourite gig because I always promised to pay them, one day I'll be able to pay them £100 each. Which is back in the 90s, which is probably what it would have been average for you guys, but for 18-piece band that was quite a stretch. And I never told them. And then when we got there, the event was like, these corporate events can be fun to play. Everyone was in a great mood. I was a bit worried because it was like the ultimate, this is a cover band, we've got to do a job here and don't let anyone down. But we got in there and it was free booze and it was also free cigarettes. We're just giving cigarettes away. So bless him, Graham D. I mean, me and him, we were just filling up sending the roadies up, sending anyone up. We come away with about 500 packs of boxes of cigarettes. My brother filled up his bass drum case with beer, and then we also had like waitress service meal before we went on.
That was standard for us. We did that, and we would fill the van up with cans and also cheese. At the end of the night, there were these great big slabs of camembert and stuff, and I thought, they're going to chuck this away. So I used to say to the guys, bring a Tupperware thing with you next week, and we did. We just filled the van up with booze and grub.
Oh, God,
we didn't mind, so we're happy that we're going to bung it away anyway.
Yeah, warning people, musicians are thieves, all right? I am warning you. You just reminded me, the collective were terrible. And I was the guy like you running it, so... I mean, cups, knives and forks, anything that weren't going to break was back on the coach.
We drew the line at stealing, I have to say.
No, my lot didn't. They were terrible. And then you go around at someone's dinner party, I remember that plate. Oh, yeah, it's from Warwickshire, that kind of thing. But happy days. Right, getting back to the Beatles, I'll set you to a challenge just to finish the show off. There's been the Blue album and the Red album, which are brilliant, and especially the remix. I did enjoy the last little colourings of them albums. But then I thought I set Dell and Joe a little challenge that you got to take one CD with you, and it's going to be your blue and red combination. So I've called it the Green album. So basically, I've asked Dell and Joe, and I'll throw in a few that I would have put on it. What would be the Beatles album that you go? Joe, you go first. First side one first.
Side one, track one for me is Paperback Writer. Fantastic opening riff, unbelievably good harmonies, 3 and 4 part harmonies, multi-tracked and double-tracked, and it's a song that I can listen to forever and never get fed up with it. Never think, not that again. So
it's pure Beatles, wasn't it? Ringo, great bass work.
Well, it's a great guitar riff, isn't it?
Apparently it was a challenge from Paul's auntie saying, why don't you write a song not about love?
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do, weren't they?
That's what
I think the meeting with Bob Dylan and times were changing, and it quickly changed, and it helped the Beatles, didn't it? Because there's only so many you can sing about, wanting to hold your hand, or want to hold you this, or want to kiss you, or love you, and it's like, hang on. Then the song started getting interesting. I've heard Sweet do a great version of that, Paperback Writer.
I've heard it, yeah.
It's great. Yeah, it's really good. Again, reinforcing what both me and Dell love Sweet, and they were a very underrated band. And right, come on then, track 2.
Track 2, We Can Work It Out.
Yeah.
Obviously a double A side with Day Tripper.
Yeah.
But going back to my first ever record that I owned, and I played it to death, and it's a ringtone on my phone. I just adore it, and it's just phenomenal how they was so different. Each song came out was totally different from the rest.
Yeah.
From the one that preceded it.
We spoke about that last week, didn't we, Dell? We can work it out. We were saying about Stevie Wonder's great version, backing vocals from Another Planet. But anyway, carry on. We're going to get into yours now.
You Got to Hide Your Love Away from Help, first album I owned.
Great song.
I stole off the guy who was lodging.
See, I don't think that is on the Red. Is that's on the Red album? I don't think it is actually. Anyway, I don't know, but I won't go too far in case I'm wrong. But these are the kind of tracks that I'm interested in.
Yeah. Well, I just love the Hootenanny 12-string on that.
Yeah.
If I Needed Someone, moving on to George from Rubber Soul.
Yeah.
More jangly 360 Ricky 12-string
noises.
And
Dell's going to mention one. We'll talk about the janglies in a minute. Yeah, go on.
I'm Only Sleeping off Revolver.
Yeah, right.
John.
Yeah.
Brilliant song.
That's a great song.
Absolutely brilliant.
I can remember Noel Edmonds playing that on breakfast radio when I was in London in '73.
I'm such a Beatles fan.
He must have had a good producer.
Get my ear close to the speaker so I could hear John go.
Great, yeah, good shot. I like these. This is exactly what I was thinking of. This is great. Yeah, go on.
And then probably the first psychedelic tune, Tomorrow Never Knows, which is another one I can just listen to when I've had a couple of beers and just really, I mean, it's just groundbreaking. I mean, nothing before it or nothing after it sounds anything like it to me, unless I've missed out on something. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
Well, pivotal album. That's one of your. Is it your favourite? Isn't it, Revolver?
Yeah, Revolver. I love that album.
Yeah, it's Magical Mystery Tour.
And being of a certain age, you know, it was just a bit of a turning point for me when I heard it.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, what are the possibilities here? What can you do? You know, and also it kind of goes on to some of the tunes I like.
We'll go to yours.
It's sort of particularly with McCartney. Writing stories. I won't give too much away now because it will go on to what I was going to say on here. But you know, he was going somewhere writing stories a little bit like Ray Davies was doing.
Yeah.
You know, you could almost picture what he's singing about. You know, if you know what I mean. But,
yeah, I liked it because I think it pushed the boundaries of music, but still did so in under 3 minutes.
Can I add one more tune to?
Yeah, go on that one. Yeah, go on.
Eleanor Rigby. I forgot all about it.
Yeah,
I mean, another one.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's as artistically and creatively as strong as Peppers, but without too much sugar. Peppers is brilliant. I'm not knocking it. Revolver is really overlooked sometimes.
With Revolver, with everything on that, you know, the songwriting, every track quality.
Yeah.
But the musicianship as well. I mean, people tend to, musicians tend to look. They don't appreciate it as much as perhaps I did at that time, because up until that point, most bass players were going dum 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 dum, and then you put on flipping Revolver and you dum 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 dum, and that, and then prior to that even, you try and sing All My Loving and play the bass at the same time. You know,
the rhythm guitar wasn't that easy.
Well, before we were talking about, and I think John Lennon as a rhythm guitarist was very underrated, because up until that point, you know, he didn't really. It was just strumming, but he would actually, some of his stuff was percussive. Try doing it.
Okay, before I go on to you, I'm just going to add a few here from that period. I've always liked Little Child, because I just think that was the Beatles from Hamburg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad. It's so catchy, and just the way they're playing it, very rhythmic. And then while we're talking about albums, I think I'd add If I Fell in there, and I Should Have Known Better.
I like them.
And Hard Day's Night. I just think,
and I Love Her.
It gets overlooked.
Where do you
as
stop?
When do you stop?
You know, I mean, people perhaps cite Rubber Soul, Revolver as no, for me, Hard Day's Night. They've got all original tunes. And the point I want to make on it even more is, how did they find time to do it? I mean, that period, they didn't even have a day off.
No, it's mental, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it was chaos. Everywhere they went was chaos. And then they find time, within a very short time allocated, to come up with an absolute stunning album.
The Beatles didn't have to think too hard. McCartney, they just flow out of him, and Lennon too. I mean,
but it's the
ideas.
Yeah, I think it sometimes. So, and that's why I would have definitely, if I failed, but really as a sort of as a sign of appreciation for that album, if I was putting the Green album together. Right now, go. Come on,
I think
your first. Song.
I have to say that I think you and me and Joe had a different brief, because I believe you said to me, pick your 10 favourite ones.
Yeah,
right?
go on, that's it.
And as I trying to pick 10 favourite Beatles tunes is like trying to decide if you've got a few kids who's your favourite child. Because I was brought up with them. So the little list I made, and you could make an album out of it, and if I had 2 more, I would have had On the Walrus as well. Would have been another one. But I mean, I was kind of thinking about when I was growing up and that. Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah.
And it's something about, and Hey Jude does it as well. It's something about when McCartney's voice comes in. Can't buy me, and it always got me. And then all there's more than 3 chords in this tune. Do you know what I mean? And so I had the first one I thought was Can't Buy Me Love, and the other one, which I'd mentioned to you yesterday, is on Revolver as well, was And Your Bird Can Sing. Yeah. I marvel at that now, because it's arguably, other than up at that point it was Les Paul and Mary Ford, it was probably the first twin lead guitar thing to come out. Because a few years later you had like Thin Lizzy and Wishbone Ash and that, but this is 1966, and I read somewhere, and it might have been from George Martin or Giles or even Jeff Emmerich, I can't remember, that when they did that, Paul McCartney and George Harrison stood in the studio together playing the twin lead, and you work that out. It's da 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 da, and to me, I just think that's one that kind of got overlooked a little bit. No one ever thinks about that one.
Absolutely.
Nowhere Man.
Yeah. True.
Loved it.
We got that in our set. We do that.
It's a great song, and the harmonies. Another one I picked was In My Life.
Oh God, yeah.
I want that at my funeral. I'm not going yet.
Yeah, don't get Dell. Yeah, give me a phone.
And I'll do my last one at the moment is While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Yeah.
And I just picked those ones to start with because they were little points in time that I recall thinking, oh yeah, I want to do that.
I suppose the other thing, remarkably, wasn't it, and very commendable, was they didn't put their singles on the albums, did they?
Well, that was Epstein, wasn't it?
But fair play to him. Yeah. I mean, it looks now you just look back and think, why didn't you put them on the album? Because they were all added something to it already. But then what would you have took off? You know, because they only had limited time. It wasn't like a CD.
It was a financial thing, wasn't it? I mean, he thought, they'll buy the single, then they'll buy the album.
Well, Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane didn't make Pepper, did they?
No. I mean, imagine
they didn't have enough time. They only get about 45 minutes on a.
They were due to be on there.
Yeah, they were. They were.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose fair play to the Beatles and whoever looks after the Beatles. They could have just repackaged it and put probably 3 or 4 more songs and called it Sgt. Pepper's with them on, and even change the listings to make it fit, because younger generation, it would just fit. It would just perfectly fit, wouldn't it? Both of them songs.
I wonder if that had anything to do with the thinking about doing the White Album.
Yeah.
You know, we can't do what we did with Pepper.
Yeah.
We're going to do all the songs.
Yeah, they definitely had a mindset. I think India was a pivotal moment in the later stages of the Beatles. One, as you know, they just wrote so many songs while they were out there. But I think they started to find their individuality.
The White Album, for me, just indicated they were drifting apart, because I mean, I think George Martin said the White Album could have been condensed into just a single album. But try doing that, Joe. We tried.
Yeah, we tried doing that.
It's really difficult. Really difficult. But no, you're right. It was. A lot of people say it's 4 solo albums on a double album. But again, and I do think it was criminal they didn't put Hey Jude on it, because Hey Jude on Double White for me that had to be on it. If it had ended with Hey Jude instead of Revolution, whatever it was called, with John and Yogo and his avant-garde bit, I don't know. You know, when you think how much time that took up on that album, you think you could have put Hey Jude on, mate. That would have been better. But
not found anybody who liked.
Right, your second half, second half of the album, whatever CD. Go on.
Right,
Joe,
track 1 on side 2, It's All Too Much, off the Yellow Submarine.
Oh, okay.
George Harrison again. I think it's the best song he ever wrote for me. I just absolutely love.
And you weren't getting much of a look in them, was he? So
well, 2 tracks per album, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a fantastic tune. George Martin took up the B-side of the whole album, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
In his score, which I quite like as well. But
yeah,
no, it's all too much. It's just the perfect psychedelic pop song for me.
Yeah,
perfect.
Next one.
I'm the Walrus.
Another good remix on that. So on the latest Blue album, it's very good.
Yeah.
Very
Apparently,
good.
he wrote it intentionally, a load of intelligible gobbledygook, just to see if the fans would worship it the same as.
And they did.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And we did.
Great,
I'm not saying no. Yeah.
Number 3, Strawberry Fields. Obviously, speaks for itself. Groundbreaking.
Let's stop there because that's. I'm not a big fan on the anthology CDs. It's just, I mean, there's Beatles fans and then there's Beatles fans, and I understand they love hearing all the different versions. But it was interesting to listen to how Strawberry Fields developed from when he first went in and then sang it.
Totally different from the original concept.
So I get why these albums are important to people. Personally, I bought them. I've hardly played them, so I won't be rushing out to buy the new one. But it is. What do you think about albums like that, though? Do you find them? I suppose you've got to be really into the eyes to. I want to hear the Take 31 that people have spoke about. Do you think it's worthy, or is it? Should they put it out, or shouldn't they?
I'm interested in it.
Yeah, okay.
But I grant the fact that I don't play it very often.
No.
It's kind of I've heard it. Okay.
Yeah.
Move on.
I'm with you on that. I found it fascinating.
Yeah.
You're going to hear something you've not heard before.
Yeah.
You've heard it, and that's it. You know.
Yeah.
John breaking a string, breaking a glass, or whatever, playing a wrong chord. It does sort of bring it to. You sort of identify with it in a way. They made mistakes in rehearsals and recording, same as we do. And you see the Beatles doing that. So
it humanises it, doesn't it? Yeah. I like hearing the little bits of banter as well. I do like that. It does. The whole thing with the Beatles is that they never depress you. They just put a smile on your face, and perhaps that is why. Perhaps that's their ingredient. That their music makes you smile, and them as individuals make you smile, and collectively they just cheer you up, don't they? With great tunes.
Absolutely.
Get back to your. We just done Strawberry Fields.
Yeah, well, obviously then Penny Lane, Paul's answer to Strawberry Fields, which was another absolute stroke of genius for me. I mean, I've never heard a song like it since or before it. I mean, it's just unique.
There's a great version of that, Elvis Costello singing it in the White House. It's on YouTube, people.
Check that out.
It's really good. And a remarkable, isn't it, for a song written about Liverpool. 67 ends up Obama, it was. And it's really lovely. It's beautiful for, I mean, Elvis Costello was a massive Beatles fan, but it's lovely. I know yourself are not great, not Pete Winkleman, he doesn't really like covers of classics, but I love them. I like hearing all different ones, and I do like that one. It's a good one. But yeah, great song, wasn't it? Great song, great video as well. Great promos. Them 2 promos were like, 10 years ahead of their time, easily at the period, and affected. That was the thing with the Beatles. Both those songs and the videos that accompanied them affected culture. Changed people started wearing moustaches, and
Were they the first videos? I mean, were there videos before?
Well, we were talking about this before the other week. Lindsay Hogg, I think, was a guy who worked on Ready Steady Go, and then he did Paperback Writer and
Rain,
which I think they put out, which got sent around the world because they just couldn't get around the world. So I think there were many, but it was an official promo, which surprisingly really annoys me. With younger DJs just say Bohemian Rhapsody was the. No, mate, there was promos out before. I must ask you something about Top of the Pops before we go. I just remembered something. So remind me. Sorry, my head's going all over. But great promos. Right, carry on.
If I Fell, Your Fate.
Oh, right. What a
lovely
great song.
2-part harmony. John and Paul. I love it. Yeah.
You could just play that on a ukulele, couldn't you? Someone with half decent voice. Yeah, and
Dear Prudence.
Hey,
not a massive fan of the White Album. It's Beatles, so it's brilliant, but relatively in its pecking order, of my opinion.
I would probably say that Behind A Jude is.
Yeah, I just.
That's the A side. That's the B side of my. I'll have to admit it. Hey Jude is my favourite Beatles song.
Oh, cracking! Yeah.
By a mile. And I would probably put
The biggest selling single, apparently.
Is it?
That's
Yeah,
so,
I can't really say what a song lifted. Right, come on, Dell, finish your.
A bit of a Lennon fest actually, because I've got Nowhere Man.
Yeah,
He's a real Nowhere Man. I've got Dear Prudence as well, and A Day in the Life.
Yes.
So that's a bit of a Lennon fest. I've got Hey Jude, because Hey Jude, I've said this before, I remember coming home from being out for the day and getting back indoors to watch them playing it, and I still get it when I hear the record, that first Hey Jude. What is it about that? Just the voice,
Yeah,
the voice.
magic.
And the image of Paul on the David Frost show, isn't it? Sort of
And I've got Penny Lane down as well, because that was what I was trying to intimate before, that it's kind of, when I hear that song, it's the video.
Yeah.
I can see everything he's singing about. It's a great story, and for me, I think it's probably, when I look back when I was starting to write songs, it was kind of somewhere or something I was aiming at, was writing about something, rather than I love you, love me, love sort of thing, you know. And Strawberry Fields Forever as well.
Yeah.
And on the Walrus, I love all that experimental stuff, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Good choices, got to say. Well done. That's why I didn't bother running. I knew you guys would probably say it all the time.
But like I said earlier, you know, I could do another list.
Oh, you could do a 4 album, couldn't you? If you do a box set.
There you go.
It'd be easier to make a list of
Loads of them.
Loads
of them.
You could. Well, perhaps we'll do a grey album. We'll do it, but yeah, it's fine. Are you looking for? Are you going to watch? Obviously, you're going to watch a series. It's coming out on Disney, isn't it? I believe.
I shall watch it without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about the Beatles. They seem to have great timing. I'll be honest, I think if it just come out 10 years ago, I saw that in the 90s and not bother. But it's just, they just seem to know.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
What excites me is that I think when we watched it, and I think it was, the anthology is a big part of the Beatles, because, as I was saying earlier, the 70s, 80s they started creeping. It was really around Britpop when everyone started, you know, the current bands were really lauding the greats of the 60s and the Paul Wellers, and then suddenly you felt the Beatles coming back as a force, and then the anthology series I think came out in the early 90s, and I just absolutely watched it and probably videoed it, but lost the video since. But and then after that, they just seem to be on a progression of going up and up and up in esteem. So, and what I'm looking forward to, because that film would have been using the old 5:4 format, the old-fashioned television shape, and the video qualities wouldn't have been great. I mean, the technology, I've been talking, sorry, knocking the mic, the technology that's available now, and I've seen it, where they can clean up everything and sort of turn it into 8K. It's mind-blowing.
The Get Back.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean,
Yeah,
and the
like
mastering of the songs, I think it's going to be a cinematic treat. You know, I'm really looking forward to it on that level. Probably know the stories, probably know this, but seeing it brought up to the quality that we get on television now, which is unbelievably brilliant on all fronts.
AI has helped my band out recently
okay.
in doing the live album. In as much as, you know, when they did the first Beatles track, and they got the Lennon thing, and they took off all the piano and that. Mm-hmm. Simon's got a new package, an AI package, and there was a couple of songs on the live one we've just done, where, because it was in a live situation, and you being a drummer, Lee, you know exactly what. There was Carl's crash cymbal right next to my amp, and it was picking up on both mics, you know, and so it's. With his AI thing, he managed to put it on my cabinet, keep his cymbal going where it should be, but take it out of my mic.
Wow.
It was AI. Otherwise, it would have been, the guitar quality would have been there, but it would have been interfered with.
Well, that's when AI is good.
There is, trust me. I know it's such a weird one. So I'm scratching the surface of AI at the moment, and
if it could bring Steve Marriott back to life.
Yeah, well, that was Chris,
that.
and it was he had his little go, and it wasn't probably great timing, but yeah, it's going to be interesting how AI impacts music, but say if it cleans stuff up and it's being used like that, I think it's. But I will go back to what I said. I don't think you never beat the human to human engagement.
No.
I knew people when I saw Bob Dylan at the Palladium. I played a lot, and I said, "Oh, what did he play?" He goes, "I didn't care, Lee." he said, "He played this, played it." He said, "But I didn't go there and listen. I just wanted to be in the room with him," which sort of reinforces that engagement. And I was like that with the Who. You know, I spent a bit of money going to Who to see the Isle of Wight, and you know, and I've seen them a lot of times. But I wanted to go again, just to have that. I wanted to be that kid in the 10th row back in the mosh pit, you know, at the age of 50. You know, I wanted to see my mate again on stage. I wouldn't have done that to defend what you're saying. I wouldn't have done that for an Avatar. You know, I think if these Avatars show come out, I think it'll be like Sphere in Las Vegas. I think it'll be a massive digital presentation more than just trying to represent a band on stage. That's where I think it's going. I think the Sphere is a great example of what's coming on a extremely large scale, because the bands are about this big in the corner. You know, you might go, mate, you might just go back in the dressing room and we'll just put the music on. But no, it's interesting time. Oh, Dell, I've got me to ask this: urban myth or not regarding Stray? Okay,
go on.
I got told that one of your singles was going to be chosen for Top of the Pops. You couldn't get on stage, but Pan's people were going to dance to it. Is it a myth or is it a hit? Well,
I never knew about any of this until recently when this film has appeared.
Okay.
So I didn't know anything about it. And which is not unusual, because when we was in our early 20s and being rock and roll stars, and you're getting paid from the office, you didn't really know what was going on in the background. I mean, all sorts of weird and wonderful things happen. But I know. I think what it might have been something to do with the fact that they were always trying to find a single off of our albums, and we weren't really a singles band.
Right.
And I think they chose one and edited it and submitted it, but we didn't get asked to play.
Right.
I mean, we only ever made one BBC performance, and that was on the predecessor of the Old Grey Whistle Test. And that was a programme they called Colour Me Pop, and then they had Disco 2. And we were on Disco 2.
Yeah, I remember that.
And when the BBC, in their wisdom, erased some tapes, they erased the only tape that they had of my band on the BBC. Funnily enough, it happened all around the world, because I heard we had an album out called Saturday Morning Pictures, and you never knew what the rest of the world were doing. In only recent years, I found an awful single that came out in Japan, which was of Stray, and there's a song on Saturday Morning Pictures called How Could I Forget You, and it's been chopped by a 6-year-old to make it about 2 minutes long. It is awful. Apparently it's worth money, but it's awful. It's but no, I don't know if
what I got. So they were going to. Legs and Co. or Pan's people were going to dance.
It was Pan's people.
Pan's people. So yeah, Pan's people were going to dance, but it didn't. It got pulled and it never got on. But they filmed them.
I've seen the film.
Yeah,
I've seen the film, and it was an edited album track, I believe, of the first album, a song called "Move On." So that would have been 1970.
Oh wow,
that'd have been 1970. Because it's got a so they can do all that stuff to it, you know.
If only, eh? Nice thing. Okay, you have tidied it up, because I've been meaning to ask that. Someone mentioned it to me. I'll tell you off air who it was, but just so you know, I didn't pull it out. But anyway, Joe, what's coming up? You got your recollections? Great band. If you haven't seen Joe's band, go and see them.
Come and see us.
Yeah, come and see them. Great. Where you do a lot of the Laurel Canyon stuff, acoustic kind of. Acoustic,
electro-acoustic,
MTV
harmony,
band, where you're plugged in, but it's not going to blow your head off, is it?
No, it won't blow your head off.
It's a great band. You must enjoy the band, because I do.
Oh, I adore it. Yeah, I mean, it's just so much less stress than what we went through. You know, having to get gigs because we needed to get paid. Now it's just
do it.
It's fun. It's just heaps and heaps of fun.
And your part, we spoke about festivals last week. That seems to have healthily recovered from impact of COVID. And one of the festivals you're involved in, I think it's the best one in Milton Keynes. Brixstock. Is that all going ahead up at Little Brick Hill? Brilliant festival. You'd be lucky to get a ticket for it now, as in next year or whatever, because it's so popular. But commendably, Joe, I think you and the committee there, it's a really well run festival, which I think that's what you got to do in Milton Keynes. But that must be enjoyable as well.
Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, it's nice knowing lots of bands that you can rely on to turn up, and and like Blair's lot. And if they do it this year, I'm hoping to get them through, although they'll probably be touring the world by then.
Blair's always available. Yeah, he's got some gigs coming up. He'll moan at me for not mentioning them. But yeah, so when do you start booking the bands in for that?
Well, it's all down to the committee, which I have a loose connection to, because I don't do committees very well.
Musicians not really committee.
It's a committee.
I'm not really part of the committee. So they'll tell me whether it's going ahead. At this point in time, I think it's likely it will, because obviously it generates funds for the kids and the cricket and that. So yeah, hopefully it will. And when they give me the nod, then I shall start fishing around, getting people involved.
Great.
And yeah.
So yeah, Recollections. Keep your eye on the social media. They're a really good band. Dell, what you got coming up this weekend? A couple of weeks. Suppose we're just getting ready to do the tour, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got my solo show on Thursday down in Southsea at the Bullfrog Blues Club.
Nice.
But I'm doing it as a trio, so I've got Carl and Colin playing with me. So I'm doing some songs from the solo albums and some covers as well, some of my favourites. And then the week after, we start rehearsals for the tour, which starts on the 23rd. And that goes right through to December the 18th.
Excellent.
Virtually one after the other. So it'll be. I'll need me bed.
That's nice, isn't it? I must admit. I mean, rehearsals can be. I didn't mind them, to be fair. I just liked going out and listening to playing some music. It wasn't like some musicians you have to tie them up and drive them there and feed them, give them drinks just to rehearse. But it must be quite nice knowing you're rehearsing and you've got a really successful tour ahead of you. That must give you a little bit. It must be some nice, great ambience.
I mean, if you'd have told me sort of 18 months ago, because particularly after COVID, it all definitely went a bit pear-shaped. You weren't sure what was going on, but I mean, we're doing this tour with British Live, which is Steve Harris and Iron Maiden's band, and they put the tickets on sale about a month ago at 9 o'clock in the morning, and most of the venues had sold out by 2, which is ridiculous in this day and age. But by what I can gather, I think they're virtually all sold out now.
Brilliant. I'm saying that must be nice, going at rehearsal knowing, a bit like sort of pre-season training for a Wembley final, if you know what I mean. It's like means something when you got something at the end of it. That'd be great.
And we're back in Milton Keynes. February the 26th or 28th, and a bit like last time, we're going to do the full show. We're going to probably do some acoustic stuff at the beginning.
And you can sit down at the stage.
And we can sit down,
which is quite important to people of our generation. Okay, that's it. On a sad note, I lost someone this weekend, and I'm not going to mention the individual, but does it, yeah. So I'm going to leave you a little bit of a message. If you've got something to do, do it, because time can catch up with you. But stay with us. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, after talking to Joe, my and Dell's little holy grail of talking to someone who's currently working as an AR man to get on the show, and I think it'll be really interesting to find out.
That will be. I have really questions to ask.
So hopefully he won't be too scared, and Joe can put in a word for us and we'll get him on. But if not, we will be here next week. But that could be the last one for a while, because we're going to have a break, as Dell's explained. He's doing stuff and I'm doing stuff. But as I say, don't put anything off, guys. If you've got something to do, do it. But do come back next week. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.